Hello and welcome to Lantern Lane Stories. Tonight's story is The Bronze Boar of Florence Who Grants Wishes. Welcome, little one. Tonight we are walking through Florence. Florence is a city in Italy with red rooftops and old stone bridges. The evening sky above us is soft pink. The air smells of warm bread and warm stone. We are looking for a very special animal. He is small, the size of a real wild pig. He is made of bronze, and his nose is very, very shiny. His name is Porcellino. That word means little pig in Italian. But really, he is a bronze boar. A young girl named Lucia is walking with her grandfather. In Italy, grandfather is nonno. Lucia has small leather sandals. Her hand holds one warm copper coin. Nonno, she whispered, where is the little boar? Just ahead, Piccolina. Listen, can you hear the water? Lucia listened. She could hear a soft trickle. It sounded like rain on a quiet roof. They turned the corner. A long stone porch stood before them. It had wide arches and tall round columns. It was called the Mercato Nuovo. That means the new market. But really, it is very old. People have sold things here for hundreds of years. The market stalls were closing for the night. A woman folded a yellow tablecloth. A man stacked wooden boxes of straw hats. The cobblestones glowed orange under the lanterns, and then Lucia saw him. The boar sat on a low stone fountain. He was the size of a real wild pig. His back was dark green like the leaves of olive trees, but his nose was bright gold, smooth, glowing, as shiny as a fresh chestnut. Why is his nose so bright, nonno? Lucia asked. Her grandfather smiled. Because everyone who comes to Florence touches it. Children, travelers, grandmothers, sailors who came from far away. For nearly 400 years, hands have rubbed that little snout. Lucia stepped closer. She reached up. The bronze felt cool against her fingertips. The boar's ears were rough with tiny carved bristles. His back had little marks where the metal had been hammered, but the nose was as smooth as warm glass. Hello, Porcellino, she said softly. A small breeze moved through the porch. The water below him gurgled. It almost sounded like a tiny hello in return. Around the fountain grew small green plants. They had pushed right out of the cracks in the stone. A real cat slipped past, gray and slow. He gave the boar a sleepy look, then padded into the shadows. He is not a real boar, nonno said, but people love him as if he were one. They tell him their wishes. They thank him after long journeys. Some travelers even say goodbye to him before they leave the city. Lucia thought that was a beautiful idea. Lucia sat on the cool stone edge of the fountain. Her sandals brushed the smooth cobbles. Where did he come from, nonno? Nonno sat beside her. He took off his soft brown hat and placed it on his knee. His eyes shone in the lantern light. Long, long ago, he began. In the year 1634, that was many lifetimes before you, before me, before even nonno's nonno. That is very far back, Lucia whispered. Yes, Piccolina, there was a sculptor named Pietro Tacca. A sculptor is a person who makes statues out of stone or bronze. Pietro lived right here in Florence. He had a quiet workshop full of dust and tools. Now, in those days, there was an even older boar, a marble one. He was white and silent. He came all the way from the ancient Romans, from hundreds of years before that. He had been sleeping in a great palace garden, half hidden by ferns. Pietro saw the marble boar one afternoon. He thought, this little fellow needs a brother, a boar who can sit outside with the people, where children can pet him and travelers can find him every day. So Pietro went home to his workshop. He melted bronze in a hot, hot fire. The fire roared like a happy lion. Then he poured the bright orange metal into a careful clay mold. He waited. When the bronze was cool, Pietro carved every bristle, every wrinkle, every little leaf at the boar's feet. He even carved a tiny snail crawling along his side. Lucia smiled. A snail? And when Pietro was done, he carried his bronze boar to this very porch. And here Porcellino has stayed, through rainy winters, through hot summers, through grandmothers and great-grandmothers. Lucia looked up at the boar. His ears were pricked as if he were listening. Did he like it here, nonno? I think yes, nonno said, because no one ever forgot him. Nonno reached into his pocket. He took out a small copper coin. He pressed it gently into Lucia's palm. It was warm from his pocket. Now, Piccolina, here is the special part. There is a tradition. A tradition is something many people do year after year because it brings them joy. You take your coin, you rub it on his shiny nose, you make one wish, then you slip the coin between his bronze teeth, like this. Non-no pretended to place a coin into the boar's mouth. And then, Lucia asked, then you let it fall. Below the boar there is an iron grate, below the grate the water. If your coin falls through the grate and lands in the water, the story says, you will return to Florence one day. Lucia looked at her coin. The little face on it caught the lantern light. Most children wish to come back, Non-no said softly, but I will tell you something even nicer, something more special than the wish itself. What is it, Non-no? The coins do not stay in the fountain forever. Every so often, kind people come. They open a little gate. They gather every coin from the cool water below. And do you know where the coins go? Lucia shook her head. Her braids swung softly. They go to families who need help, to children who need warm soup, to old grandmothers who need wood for their winter fires. Every coin you drop becomes a piece of bread for someone in the city. Lucia's eyes went wide. So my coin will help someone, Non-no? Yes. Even before your wish comes true, your little coin is already doing something kind. Lucia held the coin a little tighter. She felt it grow even warmer. Lucia stood up. She held the coin carefully between her thumb and finger. She rubbed it slowly across the boar's golden nose. The metal felt friendly under her fingers, like a sleeping puppy in the sun. She closed her eyes. The lanterns glowed soft and orange behind her eyelids. She made her wish. She did not wish to come back. She wished, instead, for a hungry little boy somewhere across the city to have a hot bowl of soup tomorrow night with buttery bread on the side. Then she leaned up on her tiptoes. She slipped the coin between the boar's bronze teeth. Click, tink, splash. The coin slid through the iron grate. It landed in the cool, dark water below. Tiny silver ripples spread out, slow and sleepy. Good night, Porcellino, Lucia whispered. The boar's eye seemed to glint just for a moment. Maybe it was the lantern. Maybe it was something else. Non-no took her hand. They walked together away from the porch. The market was quiet now. The vendors had gone home. The gray cat was curled on a step, eyes half closed. Above them, the red rooftops of Florence grew soft and dark. A bell rang from a far tower. It was a slow, kind sound. If you ever come back to Florence, Piccolina, Non-no said, you can find him again. He will be waiting, with his bright, shiny nose. Lucia yawned. Her copper coin was gone, but her hand still felt warm. I will visit you again, Porcellino, she whispered into the dark. Behind them, the water of the fountain murmured. Somewhere, beneath the iron grate, a small copper coin glowed in the cool dark, soon to become bread for a stranger. The lanterns dimmed one by one. The stars came out, slow and gentle, over the old terracotta rooftops. Lucia and her Non-no walked home along the cobbled street. The night was kind, and the city was quiet, and the bronze boar held all their wishes safely in his mouth. And so, Florence also slowly fell asleep. Good night.